Recording in progress.
Hi guys, sorry for the delay. I was just doing something on Excel about the results. Okay. Good morning everyone. Thank you for joining.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, sir.
So guys, okay. Anyone wants to start on HUL conference call? No one has sent me. Anyone? I have read the conference call yesterday and
Sir,
yeah, yeah, Ritesh.
sir, the management attributed the contraction in margin to resulted from higher commodity cost. Then they also told that their tea is continuing their market leadership, and the growth trend will gradually improve by macro conditions such as tax reliefs, increased agriculture output, and reduced inflation. And gross margin will moderate further due to commodity inflation, tea and commodity inflation of tea, coffee, and crude palm oil. And they also reduce their EBITDA margin guidance to 22 to 23%, and they are more focused towards beauty and well-being segments. And one thing I also noted from their price decrease strategy is that they always take price inflation in chunks, that they always reduce the commodity inflation, always increase their commodity inflation prices in chunks. Whereas if there is any decrease in price, they do it in one go. So that is why when there is a commodity inflation, their margin shrinks because they cannot pass on the peak of inflation prices to the consumers. And then their Horlicks category is decreasing. So they are focusing on revitalizing Horlicks, and as there is more headroom for growth, the management role. And for in this category, the margin is not the problem. Also, their sunscreen category penetration is very low, and it is a growing segment. The management told that it grew by 16% CAGR in the last 3 years, and it's a very high premium segment category. So there is a chances of high margin there.
Which one?
Then
Nutrition, no? Yeah.
sunscreen category.
Sunscreen. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Then their macro outlook in the midterm is that external there is no new headwinds. There will be a good agriculture output, and that will support rural demand. And for urban demand, as there is a tax relief, so demand will be picked up. And secondly, the internal there is a they have a stronger portfolio, so that will also support their demand, as they were telling. Uh, then they were talking about taking action in different categories. So in home care category, there will be no further action from them. In beauty and well-being category, crude and palm oil will be a will they will be watching out there. And food inflation, the tea increased by 20%, and they did not price it to the peak of their inflation. And in the personal care category, they priced it to the peak of inflation. And also the skincare category, they were telling that it is a highly profitable, fast growth market segment, and it is also growing in their e-commerce segment. And quick commerce is only 2% about their business. So this was all I noted down.
Okay, fine. Anyone else? Anything he missed out?
Sir, liquid detergents we have seen a double-digit growth, particularly in the south, with brands like Surf Excel, Rin, and Sunlight. And talking about their beverages part, tea saw single-digit growth. Basically because of pricing, and coffee continued with its strong performance with double-digit growth. And talking about their nutrition drinks like Horlicks brand remains strong in South and East India with no margin impact. And they have recently acquired Oziva business for about with revenues rising from 100 to 400 crores just over 2 years. And they have also announced for they acquired this brand, the remaining brand, by Jan 2026, and they are recently they are facing decline in turnover, especially in the nutrition drinks part, due to challenges and changes they have facing in pack pricing basically. So they are focusing on expanding their this nutrition market and want to enter new markets.
Okay. Okay. So guys, okay, let me tell you how whenever you talk about conference calls, ना, how do you talk about it? See, ऐसा नहीं होता कि कहाँ से भी कुछ भी बोल दिया. Because we have read the conference calls, we have understand it, and now when we talk about, you talk to a senior guy, तो तुमको कुछ बताना है. तुमने जो भी बोला, आशुतोष एंड निष्ठा, द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट तुमने सब स्कैटर्ड बोला, सर ऐसा हो रहा है, वैसा हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. मतलब इट्स लाइक यू आर टेलिंग ऑफ फीचर्स ऑफ द कार. ओके, फिर कार में ये है, कार में वो है, ऐसा हो रहा है, वैसा हो रहा है. आई एग्री, दैट इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट. बट the problem is you are saying, sir, tire mein na, the car has a 21-inch tire. Suddenly you are moving to, sir, it has a 21-inch touch screen, it has a sunroof, it has ये, it has वो. तो ये सब चीजें तो पता है ना. This all things have come up and obviously this things should be told, but it should be in a proper way, because when you are sitting in a car, when you go to buy a new car, you start with the engine performance because you are driving the car. Okay, फिर तुम आते हैं, सर इंजन ऐसा है, ये भागता है, एंड okay, first you talk about engine, then you come on to the interior parts. Then interior parts, maybe you talk about the seats, you talk about the steering, multi steering है, ऐसा है. Then you go on to the infotainment, then you go on to the sunroof. So these are the ways you should talk about. Now let's see how I am telling. See, I will always keep my summary sheet in front of me. Sir, I know that the revenue had increased 3% on a yearly basis. तो उसमें से क्या बढ़ा है? Sir, home care has increased. ये हमने कल देखा था कि home care was flat. Now what is the reason of home care being flat? So obviously home care was flat because उसने यहाँ पे एक बोला था कि the demand is not picking up. The reason was, the major reason was, the urban consumption has not been increasing. And ये हम पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. हम काफी, उसने भी बोला था कि अर्बन कंजम्पशन इंक्रीज नहीं हो रहा है. पीपल आर, ठीक है, ग्रोथ हो रही है एज ए करेक्टली. फिर इसमें लिक्विड आया. तो लिक्विड में क्या हुआ था? लिक्विड में सर डबल डिजिट ग्रोथ हुआ था. लिक्विड डिटर्जेंट इज डूइंग ग्रोथ. उसने वो विम बार की बात की थी, तो क्या वो, आई थिंक, हाँ, विम विम फ्लोर बार, इट हैज हैज डन समथिंग. उसमें प्योरिट भी आता है. So this segment is growing. Logan sir, the liquid segment is growing. Oh, the overall segment is flat because obviously because of the urban slowdown. ठीक है. Second part is our beauty and well-being. तो beauty and well-being में क्या आ रहा है? Beauty and well-being से the margins are at the peak क्योंकि they are focusing on the premium products. Premium products में फिर okay, they are backward minimalistic. Okay, their skincare segment, इसमें भी अभी ब्यूटी में भी स्किन केयर है. सिंस स्किन केयर इज नॉट डूइंग गुड, बट दे आर एक्सपेक्टिंग द स्किन केयर विल ग्रो, है ना, एट अ डिफरेंट स्पेस. बिकॉज वो यूवी के भी इसने कुछ बात की थी. यूवी रेज दो टाइप के होते हैं, 8 and 10, एंड उसके वजह से पीपल विल ट्राई टू गेट टूवर्ड्स मोर यूवी बिजनेस. फिर उसने बोला है कि वी वर प्रेजेंट इन ऑल द चैनल्स. ई कॉमर्स में 7 to 8% रेवेन्यू आता है. तो मेजरली तुम्हारी ब्यूटी के सेल्स वहां से भी हो रहे हैं बिकॉज मिनिमलिस्टिक इज एंटायरली ऑफलाइन, ऑनलाइन सॉरी, के कोई ऑफलाइन स्टोर्स है नहीं. Beauty segment has the highest margin and they expect the margins to be stable in the coming future. इसका कितना था? If you talk about the minimalistic, sorry, the beauty care segment is at what 32% is the margin for beauty care. And I think let's say मैंने कुछ highlights लिए थे. हाँ सॉरी, इसमें था लिक्विड पोर्टफोलियो होम केयर, लिक्विड गिर रहा है, मिड सिंगल डिजिट में ग्रो हो रहा है. स्किन केयर इज डिक्लाइनिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द मास स्किन. वापस ने भी बोला कि देयर इज लॉट ऑफ कंपटीशन इन स्किन केयर सेगमेंट विच इज अ पार्ट ऑफ ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट, ब्यूटी सेगमेंट. ओके, दिस इज योर सेकंड थिंग. ब्यूटी के बारे में बोल दिया. नाउ यू गो एंड टॉक अबाउट तुम्हारे पर्सनल केयर. पर्सनल केयर में क्या हो रहा है? व्हाट इज देयर इन पर्सनल केयर? I've written over. पर्सनल केयर में तुम्हारे, अच्छा सॉरी, स्किन केयर comes at a part of personal care. I'm so sorry. Body wash category is doing good. There is an improvement that you are seeing in the tea in the category based personal care. उसने वो close up की भी बात की थी. We talked about that the close up is doing good. It has the competition. It is good. It is, I will say it is performing well in the competitive market. फिर और भी जो भी पार्ट्स है, आई थिंक पर्सनल केयर के बारे में उसने ज्यादा कुछ बोला नहीं है। एंड पर्सनल केयर सेगमेंट इस इसके मार्जिन भी, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द मार्जिन, मार्जिन अराउंड 18.20% के आसपास उसके मार्जिन रहता है, दैट इज डूइंग फेयरली वेल। पर्सनल केयर, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग विद पर्सनल केयर? पर्सनल केयर इज ग्रोइंग एट 3.1%। तो उसने और दो तीन चीजें बोले थे। फिर द मेजर पार्ट दैट हैज डिक्लाइन वाज द फूड एंड रिफ्रेशमेंट। द फूड एंड रिफ्रेशमेंट ऑब्वियसली द कॉफी आता है, रेड लेबल आता है। फिर तुम बोलते सर कॉफी एंड रेड लेबल में टी प्राइसेस में इम्पैक्ट होता है, टी प्राइसेस इंक्रीज डिक्रीज, और दे हैव फेसिंग दिस प्रॉब्लम ऑफ commodity price increase। now बोल रहे हैं कि ये क्वार्टर में the commodity price will decrease, so obviously margins are expected to increase। उसने ये भी बोला था कि gross margin will increase, but at the same time sir EBITDA margin will not EBITDA margin will remain the same, 22 to 23 के रेंज में होगा। एंड वो भी रीजन था, वो भी रीजन तुमने नहीं बोला। रीजन वाज, क्या रीजन था? कि दे वर स्पेंडिंग मोर ऑन प्रमोशन एक्टिविटीज, मोर ऑन योर इनोवेशन, ये सब बोला है। क्योंकि इफ यू सी दैट उसने क्वेश्चन पूछा था कॉल पे कि सर आप बोल रहे हो कि अगर ग्रॉस मार्जिन विल मॉडरेट, तो हाउ विल EBITDA मार्जिन बी कांस्टेंट? इफ यू रिमेंबर ही हैज आस्क्ड दैट क्वेश्चन, फर्स्ट ही क्वेश्चन था आई थिंक मैक्वारी से जो था। तो ही सेड व्हाट, कि जो भी हम कमा रहे वी विल बी रीइन्वेस्टेड बैक इनटू द बिजनेस। ऑब्वियसली देयर विल बी अ डिक्लाइन इन द सॉरी डिक्लाइन इन द कॉस्ट, the gross margin will improve, but at the same time we don't expect the EBITDA to improve because we were investing in, we will invest back all the things into innovation and product innovation, marketing strategies, because and specifically this mentioned that the marketing will be based on the beauty segment because that we expect to grow. Minimalistic is already doing a 500 crores of turnover. So and in the next 2-3 quarters, it is expected that the margin improvement will start coming, which the EBITDA margin improvement will start coming. So this is how you talk about a conference call. See how I started with the segments. Then I went on to the cost. तो कॉस्ट में क्या होगा? ब्यूटी सेगमेंट में, होम केयर सेगमेंट में द मेजर कॉस्ट इज योर क्रूड ऑयल। क्रूड ऑयल के कॉस्ट है, दैट विल गेट इम्पैक्ट। तो क्रूड ऑयल की वजह से तो ऑब्वियसली वो डिक्लाइन हो रहे हैं, तो मार्जिन विल ऑल्सो बी डिक्लाइन। और उसने और एक बोला था कि वो इफ यू आई जस्ट मिस दैट पार्ट ऑन द कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल, दैट ही सेड दैट थोड़े बहुत कॉस्ट इन्फ्लेशन के डिक्लाइन होने के वजह से वी हैव गॉट अ मार्जिन इम्पैक्ट, मार्जिन हिट, सॉरी मतलब there was an improvement in the margin, but at the same time that it was offset by the tea and coffee prices, if you remember this first ही line में बोला था उसने। तो इसके वजह से margins have been flat। You talk about the segment, then you go on to the gross margins, then you talk about the EBITDA margin। तो EBITDA margin क्यों रहने वाले हैं? Is around because it is 12 to 13%। बाकी सब डेटा तुमने जो दिया has anything to do with it? तुम्हारे इन्फॉर्मेशन से कुछ करना था उसको। हाँ, फिर तुमको चाहिए तो तुम एलाबोरेट कर दो वो सेगमेंट स्पेसिफिकली, सर होम केयर में क्या हो रहा है, ब्यूटी केयर में क्या हो रहा है। योर थॉट्स वर लाइक हियर एंड देयर, बिकॉज यू वर टेलिंग, जैसे कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल में बोला था वैसे तुम बात कर रहे हो कि सर वो ऐसे ऐसे चला गया था। सी व्हेन यू गो ऑन जॉब, तो तुमको जब बोलते हैं कि मुझे हाईलाइट्स दो, तो वो लोग ने जो बोला है वो कॉपी पेस्ट करके नहीं बोलना है कि सर वो लोग ने ऐसा ऐसा बोला था तो ये मैं लिखते गया। यू हैव टू एनालाइज इट, समराइज इट, फॉर्म इट इन अ बेटर वे एंड देन टेल इट। गॉट इट आशुतोष? समझा? व्हाट वाज योर मिस्टेक? गलत नहीं था कुछ भी,
हाँ
एवरीथिंग वाज
यस
राइट।
सर, वो ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं था, मतलब
ऑर्गेनाइज
स्कैटर्ड था सब।
था,
हाँ।
स्कैटर था, एवरीथिंग वाज राइट, कुछ भी गलत नहीं, तुमने जो भी बोला बराबर। बट वो कहाँ पे आ रहा है, कौन सा सेगमेंट ग्रो हो रहा है? फिर लेट्स से यू आर स्ट्रेचिंग समथिंग ऑन, लेट्स से इफ स्ट्रेचिंग ऑन एक्सपोर्ट में, बोला अरे एक्सपोर्ट उसका हार्डली 500 कर रहा था, उसका क्या तुम स्ट्रेच कर रहे हो इतना? इसके बारे में क्यों बोल रहे हो? मेन तो इसके बारे में बताओ क्या चल रहा है इसमें, ये सेगमेंट में क्या हो रहा है। बिकॉज एक बार तुम बोल रहे हो सर ये ब्यूटी क्या होम केयर सेगमेंट इज ग्रोइंग, फिर अचानक तुम बोल रहा है लिक्विड ब्यूटी केयर सेगमेंट इज डिक्लाइनिंग, स्किन केयर। स्किन केयर इज अ पार्ट ऑफ, अच्छा ये पर्सनल केयर में आता है, ब्यूटी में आता है, आई डोंट नो। जस्ट सी स्किन केयर किस में आता है? आई थिंक इट इज इन द पर्सनल केयर, आई थिंक सो। Correct. This is that is why I said na वो segmental information is is the most important. You start with, and whenever you, that is why finance is important. You start with profit, sales, ग्रॉस मार्जिन, एबिटा, बस उसके नीचे नहीं जाना है। उसके नीचे अगर हाँ, व्हेन विल गो बिलो दैट, पैट विल पे कब आना है? जब वी टॉक अबाउट उसमें इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट अगर ज्यादा हो, कोई कंपनी में अगर नो डेट हैवी कंपनीज हो या कैपेक्स हैवी कंपनीज हो, तुमको दिख रहा है डेप्रिसिएशन बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया है, तो लोग ने कुछ कैपेक्स किया है, दैट टाइम यू टॉक अबाउट कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर एंड ये कंपनीज में आई थिंक देयर इज नो नथिंग व्हिच हैज डेप्रिसिएशन को इतना बढ़ा नहीं है, जो अप्रोक्सीमेट द सेम लेवल। ठीक है? तो अगर कुछ होता है तो वो भी तुमको बात करें, तो इसके लिए हम एबिट मार्जिन भी देखते हैं। तो ये केस में तो वैसा कुछ सिनेरियो है नहीं। बट इफ अगर कोई इंडस्ट्री फॉलो कर रहा है जहाँ पे हायर कैपेक्स है या हायर डेप्रिसिएशन है, देन या हायर इंटरेस्ट है, So then you talk about EBITDA and PAT. तो पैट भी वी डोंट टॉक अबाउट द प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स मार्जिन, हम एक एडजस्ट करके पहले प्रॉफिट कर देते हैं, ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट, नॉन ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स। तो उसमें हम इंटरेस्ट भी ऐड करते हैं, बिकॉज अज्यूमिंग इंटरेस्ट इज एन ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस, हम वो कंसिडर करेंगे कि इंटरेस्ट तो भी हम ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंस कंसिडर करेंगे, बिकॉज यूजुअली जो लोन्स लेते हैं वो ऑपरेशंस के लिए लेते हैं। एंड इफ यू नो, interest is not only an operating activity, not only financing activity, it is also an operating activity. US GAAP, those who have done CFA, US GAAP and IFRS, US GAAP says that it is an operating activity. But if you look at US company's annual report, interest is said to be an operating expense. हाँ, but इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग के बाद वो लोग क्या, IFRS में वो लोग क्या बोलते हैं, इट कैन आइदर बी एन operating activity or the financing activity. It is up to the company where they have to. Indians use IFRS, that is why वो in the financing activity में count होता है. But if that loan is taken for capital expenditure, तो वो operating activity ही आया. The reason I don't talk about PAT is because you see 138 crores of impact, either be 500 crores. So this and this PAT are not comparable only. Rather compare this and this, or maybe this and this. यहाँ पे भी 78 crores का, this is irrelevant. But tax is common, तो tax भी लेना. That is why we talk about net operating profit after tax, no PAT. That we'll do later on in our sessions. Okay, got it?
Yes.
Okay. Harsh today. Achha, there was something new. Harsh, Harsh, can you tell the news on the beverages? Harsh,
Hello, sir. Good morning.
good morning.
Yes, sir. You were saying something. Sorry, I
No,
missed that.
I said you sent me the beer sales, right? So
Yes, sir.
can you tell the news?
Yes, sir. The article was that the beer sales has risen by 10% in FY25, crossed if I talk about volume, they have crossed about 450 million cases. And we have also seen that the shift is toward milder alcohol. In milder alcohol, it is beer and and there's one more thing I'm missing that. Basically, the demand before this, the demand was towards the spirits. In spirits,
Hmm.
it uh, in spirits, uh, uh, in sprites. Sorry, in sprites.
Right.
Uh,
ये तो इसका है ना, spirits, correct, you're right, spirits only.
Mother sir,
Spirits
I'm
means,
trying this for the first time. That's why I'm a little
no,
bit confused.
tell me
So, sir,
whatever you have written. Just read
yes.
out, or maybe just cut short
Okay.
whatever you have said.
Okay.
Take your newsletter in your hand and
Okay,
talk
sir.
about it.
So
Okay,
to the summarizer, the beer
summary.
demand in FY25
Hmm.
grew 10% year on year, reaching 450 million cases, up from 405 million in FY24. So this is 10% increase
Hmm.
year on year. So the shift reflects rising preference for lower alcohol content drinks, while spirit sales growth slowed to 2.2% in 2024. So it was 4.5% in 2023. So, according to Brewers Association of India, this trend aligns with the mainstreaming of alcohol and social bonding habits. And so, global brewers, which include United Breweries, AB in Beverages, and Carlsberg, who holds about 85% of the market share, plan to invest over 3,500 crore in 2025, the highest capex in a decade. But sir, the problem is that the high tax remains a challenge, still remains a challenge. The beer is 2x costlier in India versus UK due to volume tax link. And so also we have seen in the past that the Karnataka raised beer taxes 3x in 18 months. And the Hankind halted supply in Telangana over pricing issues. So these are the challenges which the company is facing.
Okay. So we can say that beer demand is, not beer demand, I will say lower alcohol content demand is beverages demand is increasing. I think there was also beverages part that we are talking about. So now probably I think this is because of the summer heat, the heat wave that we are seeing. So this is my analysis, because once the winter starts, no one wants to go into this beverages sector. I think your this they, I mean, usually when the winter starts, they usually talk about spirit. Okay. So yeah, probably this trend we are seeing. I think previously there has there was a news about Kingfisher launching two products for Gen Z population, some flavored in mango and all. I don't remember, but there was a news which we came across. So yeah, correct.
Mm.
They are no, they are investing in this low alcohol content, and probably this is a social drink, as you rightly mentioned. If you can recollect those who drink or those who see people drinking it, this is a social drink, and when you don't want to get that high, obviously beer or maybe low alcohol content drinks are preferred. And because of social gathering, more social gathering, and more, as you said, social bonding habits, beers are
Yes.
preferred over others. But I don't know about the taste, because taste is also a problem. That is why this breezer, if you say breezer or maybe the low alcohol
Hmm.
content, so these are like sweeter alcohol. I think Kingfisher is also coming up into the sweet alcohol. I have not tasted it. Those who drink, can try. वो जो नया आया है beer का, if you drink, I'm not promoting anything. You can, this is also an analysis that, if others are drinking, go and ask them, "अरे ये मीठा लगता है क्या? Is it good, or how different is it from the normal, other beer?" Because usually what I think is beer is the most, I will say, it doesn't taste that good. So that is why they are coming into this medicine. So fine, again, this is okay. 10% growth is not that uh, substantial, but okay, more than the inflation is totally fine.
बस सर ये जो टैक्सेस वाला इशू है, आई थिंक ये
हाँ,
शुरू से ही है, मतलब कोई इसलिए नया प्लेयर एंट्री
एंटर
करने
नहीं
में
कर रहे,
उनको
हाँ,
डिफिकल्टी होती है।
करेगा जो राइटली मेंशन, वो महंगा भी है। But yeah, nowadays वही
एग्जैक्ट।
problem है ना, people, मतलब the premium people, people are not interested. मतलब it's okay if it's expensive like that. No, वही the habits of Indians are increasing because of the increase in per capita income.
राइट सर।
But spirits भी कोई सस्ते नहीं है. I think it is also expensive. Yeah, but yeah, I think the taxes is a big part to challenge in India. The
अंडरस्टूड सर।
small sector, so it's overall small sector. I think hardly तीन चार companies ही listed है इसमें. So United Spirits है, United Breweries है, and GM Breweries है. think GM Breweries, I am not sure. I have never tried those all things. अच्छा,
हाँ सर,
global
इसमें
में there is
लिखा
no
भी हुआ
GM
है
only.
जो यूनाइटेड ब्यूरीज है, एबी इन बेवरेज एंड कार्लसबर्ग होल्ड्स
Carlsberg.
अबाउट 85% ऑफ मार्केट शेयर।
So Carlsberg is a part of. Sorry, Carlsberg is not a India का नहीं, so it's not listed in India. I think Heineken is a part of United Breweries only. Let me correct you.
अच्छा, ओके
Heineken
सर।
is a part of Kingfisher only. Okay. Okay. Uh, Ram, Ram, anything on the next day?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, good morning. I'd like to discuss about Nestle. Nestle reported a profit of 873 crore, which was down 7% year-on-year basis.
Mhm.
This was due to high coffee and cocoa prices. Milk prices are also high due to cyclicality. And revenue for quarter 4 was up 4.4%, and it reached 5.5 thousand crores approximately. The price hike in coffee and chocolates was the reason for revenue growth, and
Price
volume
again,
also,
chocolate. Okay.
coffee and chocolate.
Okay.
Yes, and volume also increased by 2%. EBITDA margin narrowed from 25.2% to 25.6%. Talking about demand, urban demand is expected to remain subdued due to low wage growth and high living expenses. That's it.
So what about EBITDA margins?
EBITDA margin narrowed marginally, like 0.4%, from 25.2% to
Hmm.
25.6%.
Yeah,
Okay,
fine,
thank you.
fine. Dhruv, anything to add on?
Yes, sir, in Nestle. So for pet care business, it's reported that it's been a highest ever double-digit growth in urban India. And so recently, as the sorry, sir.
Suresh Narayan mentioned in his article in his conference that as the Gen Z and millennials are driving demands for ready-to-drink coffee, creating a new consumption occasion and expanding market. And
Okay.
it has the beverages also recorded the high double-digit growth.
Sorry, which has registered a double growth?
The beverages, sir,
Beverage.
the cold
Okay.
coffee,
Okay,
cold
cool.
coffee and
Okay.
Nescafe.
Okay.
Due to Gen Z and millennials are driving demands for towards the cold coffee. And
So guys, this on the ready to drink product, even HUL was talking about ready to drink product in the nutrition business, which is growing.
Yes, a
हाँ,
boost.
तो वो तभी बात कर रहा था, तो this is something is happening in this ready to drink. Well, it's a new segment. People are liking it, and people nowadays don't want to mix the coffee and make a coffee. Like it's already, if you get a prepared coffee which is at a cheaper price comparatively to the normal rest cafes, it is preferred. Oh, actually, if you see now the Nestle has come into that cans and all ready to drink cafe, Nescafe, direct coffee है, Coca-Cola के cans होते हैं जैसे actually. Okay. Anything? Anyone else? Anyone else? Guys, there was a news about Devyani acquiring. You didn't read this? It was a big news today. No one read this. No one even sent me. सब अपने नेस्ले के बारे में लिखा है. It is fine. वो तो कल हो गया था ना. Nestle was done yesterday. I hope no one has listened to the conference call of Nestle yet. This one was a big news today. KFC operator, no, KFC is a Devyani International, which has purchased the Skygate 80%. Now, what is Skygate? Skygate into hospitality. It is the restaurant brand behind Biryani by Kilo. They also have like
So
Biryani by Kilo
Gola
and
butter chicken bhi
Goila
and
Butter
bhojan
Chicken
bhi
and
hai.
Bhojan. तो अभी ये एक्विजिशन तो हुआ है. The value they have given is around 519 crores is the overall valuation of the company, and it is
And
at
sir, इनका revenue 277 crores है, जो इनका
270.
combined revenue है.
कहाँ से मिला?
सर इनकी पीपीटी में था.
अच्छा, where you find the PPT?
सर online normal Google search.
गूगल पे नहीं मिला था.
So I can send it if you want.
नहीं. So usually it is the BSC website. So obviously if there is an acquisition, it will be on the BSC website. So guys, this news is okay. We don't have to do. This is like we have purchased. Now when you talk about finance, finance, you are a finance, MBA, finance, CFA, merger and acquisition पढ़ा है ना पूरे finance में. There is an acquisition which has happened. So what ये जो हुआ price पे हुआ. What is the valuation of this? ये आया कैसे number 519? So which number is this, Nishta? ये valuation कौन सा है? Equity या enterprise value?
सर ये इनका basically enterprise value है.
हाँ. So whenever the acquisition is done, it's always on the enterprise value. It is never on the equity. But when you acquire a company, it is you acquire the entire stake in a company. So now what to do with this news? You have to understand that ये जो acquisition हुआ है, what price to sale या EV by EBITDA हुआ है. Now if you go on to this, see, you will always find a presentation of the acquisition. Every time you will find it. अगर इतना बड़ा news है, तो it will be there on the BSC website. Investor presentation. Just open all this, whatever company update is there. Transactions background, controlling stake, operators 5, biryani by kilo, goila butter chicken, bhojan gateway. This also getaway and crazy kebab. Crazy kebab. Plans to acquire 3 brands. Remaining 2 brands will be disinvested over the next 9 months. Currently 100 stores. So ये सब तुम्हारे न्यूज़लेटर्स में आना चाहिए. Now what is this company? सब दिया है कंपनी के बारे में. किसके किधर किधर क्या क्या है. Premium dishes. ठीक है ये. Not sure. I have never been here. The equity valuation of the company is 519. So this equity valuation सॉरी सेकेंडरी इन्वेस्टर्स, तो द कंसिडरेशन ऑफ 419 फाउंडर्स कंटिन्यू, तो ये जो हुआ है 419 करोड़, सो आई विल से द वैल्यू ऑफ द कंपनी 519, ये कैसे आया? हाउ दिस वैल्यू कम?
So 80% 419 है तो 100% 519।
नहीं नहीं वो नहीं, तो 519 कैसे है मैं पूछ रहा हूँ। तो यू हैव टू टेल हाउ इज दिस अराइव, या व्हाट इज द बेसिस बिहाइंड दिस। ओके, व्हेन यू वांट टू बाय अ कंपनी, लेट्स से मेरी कंपनी है, तुमको बाय करनी है, कितने में खरीदोगे, क्या देखोगे पहला? आई वांट टू सेल माय कंपनी, व्हाट आर द थिंग्स दैट यू सी फर्स्ट?
Sales,
सेल्स, सेल्स या प्रॉफिट?
profit both, sorry,
हमें
profit.
लॉस मेकिंग को चल जाएगा ना, लॉस मेकिंग खरीद लो।
Mm, Profit.
इट इज ऑलवेज द प्रॉफिट। If my company is not into profitable, then I will look at my EBITDA or EBIT, depending on the industry. चलो EBIT पकड़ लेते हैं. And if the EBIT is also negative या बहुत कम है, तो we'll talk about the sales. Because if it's a growing company, so EBIT might be lower. So sales also we can see. Now let's see. अच्छा, इसके बारे में और कुछ दिया नहीं है. There is nothing about the sales price about the. There is nothing about the sales price of the company. Sorry, your sales of the company. यहाँ पे acquisitions का भी कुछ दिया होगा. It's come down. Press release. Let's see what is it. Devyani International acquiring it. Let's see क्या दिया है इसमें. It's just an acquisition part. Okay. Let's see the other one. Announcement of acquisitions. In this sheet, come down. Name of the company. Okay. Allocation 80%. Paid up share capital. Okay. Consolidated. The consolidated turnover, Cheesy Kebab, for a year ended was 277 crores. So as of now, we have got one number of this company. Or I think there is no number as of now. Consideration. हाँ, एक ही नंबर है अभी फिलहाल हमारे पास, दैट इज 277 करोड़. 260 था, ये भी दिया है. 133 था, 218 हुआ, 216 हो गया, 277. एंड व्हाट प्राइस दे हैव परचेज? 519 टोटल. So 519 you paid for a sales of 2.77. So this acquisition is done at 1.8 times the sales. 1.8 times the sales. This is how you write your newsletters. That is why the acquisition news are to be read. जो किसी ने नहीं किया, आई वाज सरप्राइज टू सी कि किसी ने बात भी नहीं किया उसके बारे में. एवरीवन इज कवर नेस्ले नेस्ले नेस्ले. वो नेस्ले हो गया कल, दैट न्यूज़ हैज ऑलरेडी डन. तुमने उसका कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल भी नहीं सुना है. चूज न्यूज विच विच विल लीड टू इंक्रीज इन योर ओन वैल्यू. मेरे लिए मत करना कि मैं बोल रहा हूँ इसके लिए कर रहा है. ये सब चीजें तुमको इंटरव्यू में बात करनी है. दिस ऑल थिंग्स आर अ इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन ऑन अ डेली बेसिस. कल कोई पूछे, यू शुड नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन एचयूएल, यू शुड नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन टाटा कंज्यूमर, यू शुड नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन नेस्ले, शुड नो ये एक्विजिशन हुआ है. दिस ऑल्सो एन एफएमसीजी ना, क्यूएसआर जाते हो ना हम, केएफसी पिज्जा हट में जाते हैं ना, करेक्ट? एवरीवन गोस. व्हाई वाज दिस न्यूज़ नॉट देयर इन एनी ऑफ योर न्यूज़लेटर्स? So whenever there's an acquisition news which comes out, you have to go on the BSE website and find some other number. EBITDA दिया हो तो better, but ना EBITDA नहीं दिया है. It is trading at 1.8 times its sales, enterprise value by sales. Usually this acquisition is said to be enterprise value. अच्छा, but let's see इसने क्या किया. The proposed acquisition implies equity value excluding the business equity value of the acquisition. So it is not the enterprise value. This is currently the equity value. क्योंकि पूरा पूरा कंपनी खरीदा नहीं है. एंटरप्राइज वैल्यू तभी होता है when you purchase the entire कंपनी. अभी इसने एंटर कंपनी परचेज नहीं किया, सिर्फ 80% स्टेक बाय किया है. यू डोंट बाय ऑन द एंटरप्राइज वैल्यू. So 519 is specifically the equity value. So how will you find now? ये देवयानी है, okay? QSRL. Let's find other companies जो और कौन सा लिस्टेड है. बारबेक्यू नेशन, it is also listed, correct? बारबेक्यू नेशन हॉस्पिटैलिटी. बारबेक्यू का इक्विटी वैल्यू इज अराउंड 1100 करोड़ एंड उसका प्रॉफिट सेल्स देखते हैं, इट इज 1225. तो 1100 करोड़ डिवाइड बाय 1225 कितने टाइम पे ये? दिस इज 0.8 times बार्बिक्यू नेशन इज ट्रेडिंग एट 0.8 times. और कौन सा कंपनी है इसमें? डोमिनोज भी है ना? लेट्स फाइंड व्हाट डोमिनोज इज ट्रेडिंग. सॉरी, दिस यार Jubilant. Jubilant 45,000 is the market cap. 45,991. If you want to buy Domino's today, the value is 45,991. तो क्या basis पे आया? If I want to compare the sales, Domino's makes a sales of 5,564. Total ये रहा यहाँ पे दिया है. It is 8 times. तो ये तो काफी महंगा है. Domino's Jubilant Food is quite expensive. So probably your Domino's Jubilant Food Works is not a competitor of your KFC and Pizza Hut, but ऐसा नहीं है. Correct? So can I say if this is the growth that we see in the industry, तो इनको काफी सस्ते में मिल गया है ये रेस्टोरेंट 1.8 times. तो 8 times है जॉब. और कौन सी कंपनी है इसमें लिस्टेड? लेट्स फाइंड इट्स पीयर.
Sapphire Foods.
Sapphire Foods. Let's find what is the Sapphire. So obviously Domino's, you cannot compare Domino's and क्योंकि उसका 277 करोड़ का टर्नओवर है. Domino's has a turnover of 5,600 crore. So scale is totally different. So we need to find companies which are in that same range of revenue. 200 करोड़ के आसपास किसका रेवेन्यू है? Sapphire Foods. Let's find Sapphire Foods. 10,000 crore है, but what is the इसका भी ना 10 times is the revenue. So probably it is also not a competitor. Scale wise competitor है, but on the scale wise 10,517 divided by 2594. 2594. This is 4 times. So obviously it is not a competitor. Sales are not in. I think barbecue का था ना, barbecue nation का sales was around, इसका भी 1,000 करोड़ है. So nothing in that range, but हाँ ओवरऑल हम देखेंगे तो it is around 4 times सफायर फूड्स और तुम्हारे डोमिनोज. अच्छा इसका देख लेते हैं. जो कंपनी देवयानी है, व्हाट इज इट ट्रेडिंग एट? देवयानी ने खुद को कितना वैल्यूएशन मिल रहा है? देवयानी द मार्केट 20,000 करोड़ एंड इट इज 3,000. तो 20,000 करोड़ अप्रोक्सीमेट 3,500. 5 times. So can I say Devyani Foods and वो Sapphire Foods are approximate at the same valuation, 4 times के आसपास. Domino's is trading at 8 times. So you have to find any companies who is in that range. So के लिए you have quarterly sales है. सिटी का भी these are all quarterly sales इनके इतने हैं. So can I say if 277 crores is the sale for your gateway, so अगर divide by 4 करे is hardly making 70 crores per quarter. तो ऐसी कोई कंपनीज है नहीं ये रेंज में. He is making 200, but हाँ we can see barbecue nation, sorry ये तो quarterly sales है. We don't have any companies which is approximate that place. Barbecue nation देखा तो it is trading at 0.8. So still compared to 0.8 ये 2 times पे is fine. So 2 times पे हुआ है. Usually what we see is 4 and 8 that we have seen. तो ये सब पता होना चाहिए when you talk about acquisition. कुछ नहीं है ज्यादा. What I did, I just found sales कितने कौन से कंपनीज लिस्टेड है, कौन से competitors and what is the price to sale, because this is done at an acquisition of 1.8 times. This is how you read newspapers on a daily basis. This makes a lot of impact. वो 1.8 numbers कहीं पे भी नहीं है. It is not there in any of the files, but you have calculated it. That is why analysts are paid 15, 20 lakhs or maybe 40 lakhs is because of you give them a detailed information. न्यूज़पेपर से कॉपी पेस्ट तो 10th स्टैंडर्ड का स्टूडेंट भी कर सकता है. आई विल हायर अ बीकॉम स्टूडेंट रादर देन हायरिंग यू. जबकि वैल्यूएशन साथ में दिया है, यहाँ पे दिया है 519 करोड़ का वैल्यूएशन. व्हाट यू डिड विद दैट नंबर? हो गया एक्वेशन. नाउ व्हाट इज इट? गुड, बैड, इन लाइन विद द इंडस्ट्री? ओके फाइन. Guys, yesterday I was talking to one of our students. There was a guy, who Abhishek, who got into ICI Securities. I was just showing the chats to him. This was the guy who used to write 4 to 5 newsletters on a daily basis. Before 8 a.m., because he used to go to office, he used to start his house, start by around 7:38. Before 8 a.m., he used to message office going, no? He was not sitting home. He was working somewhere in some random company. 4 newsletters he was sending me on a daily basis. You guys are sending one. Many are even not doing that and missing it. I personally also do 3, 4, read news and I have this analysis with me. So if you don't be, active in this all things, वो नेस्ले का न्यूज आई फाउंड कि सबने वही भेजा है मुझे. नथिंग टू डू विद इट. एक न्यूज था वो, ठीक है, कितना टाइम लगता है, नेस्ले सब कुछ दिया हुआ था न्यूज में. इफ यू आर नॉट एनालाइजिंग द न्यूज, नेस्ले फाइन, इट वाज ओके, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि गलत था वो, बट इफ यू आर नॉट एनालाइजिंग एनी न्यूज, your news reading, your newsletters will not have value till you don't put any analysis to it. So those who are not writing, start writing. uh, Abhishek, that guy made a industry report, random, just collecting data and all, in 2 months, in 2 weeks of classes. He paid me money, let's say on 10th of one month, till 20th, 10 days. He was ready with the entire industry data that he was reading in the uh, newspapers on a 10-day basis. कि सर 10 दिन में ये डेटा आया था एंड आई हैव कैप्चर्ड इट. ही हैज गॉन थ्रू सम DRHP एंड एनुअल रिपोर्ट, वहां से थोड़ा इंडेक्स डेटा कलेक्ट करके ही हैज कोलेटेड इन लेस देन 10 days. This is why he was reading news. And fine, in 10 days, if he can do that, what he can do in 1 month? That is why he got 17 lakhs. ऐसे ही नहीं मिलता salary. And 17 lakh at the start, being from a non-IIM college, not even an MBA finance. He is not even an MBA finance. He is an MBA into ruler. I give this example to everyone. You guys are CFAs, you guys are MBA from good colleges. But he was also from a good college, but he was not MBA finance. That is what I'm saying. He was an MBA rural development management. He said that, sir, when I was teaching him in Delhi College, he said that, sir, financial modeling is the first time that I came across the asset liabilities क्या होता है. This is how he grew in life. I don't see that spark in you guys. You just attend the call and leave it. After that, I don't see any replies. Many of you, others are doing, but obviously it is not consistent enough on a daily basis. Many things are happening. Jobs are available. I have currently 5 openings which are available. I don't have anyone to recommend. I will say go and apply. I put on that group. You guys are there. 5 openings are currently on. I don't have anyone to say that this guy is consistent with me. So I am not referring because my name goes with it. So पूछू क्या हुआ है, तो no one has the answer for that. Obviously not the one who has joined today, in this batch, and the previous batch I'm talking about. But others who have joined, be consistent enough, or else lot of information is available. You think your education is enough. In core finance, it's not. Education is mandatory, not enough. Okay. Anyone else? We have 5 minutes. Anyone else? I have no news apart from Nestle. No one has sent me anything else. Anyone else? Okay. So there is a Maruti result. I think Gaurav have sent me. Once again, just write it. Maruti results which are expected today. Gaurav, you there? हाँ
Yes, sir.
Gaurav, क्या बोला? What was the news about?
Sir, analysts are projecting revenue growth of 4 to 7%, which mainly driven by increased volumes and price hikes, and
Okay.
also the probability of facing pressure due to higher input cost and like increased advertising expenses and elevated discounts. And net profits estimated vary, with some brokerage anticipating slight growth, while others foresee a marginal decline. Mainly
Others,
this news.
others foresee a marginal decline. So you said 4 to 7%. Now let's find what is the numbers for Maruti. So quarter, this one. Okay, 38,000 is what they are estimating. So you said it will earn 8%, right? 4%. 4 to 7%. It was that range. Correct?
What's sir?
What was the range? 4 to 7.
4 to 10.
इतना बड़ा range किया.
हाँ सर.
कौन से पेपर में किया है?
सर मुझे
Which was
पेपर
it?
याद नहीं है।
That is huge, man. काफी बड़ा है इतना estimation में. Fine, if it's 4%, it should be around 40,000 crores. And if it's 10%, so 42. So
सर
40 to
रिपब्लिक
42 के
वर्ल्ड।
आसपास. Okay, fine. So 40 to 42%, 40 to 42,000 के आसपास, let's see what the number comes from Maruti. So just see, guys, 40 between sometime between 40 to 42,000 should be enough. And what is about the PAT? कितना बोला बोला मैं? How much percent is Saurabh? How much was the PAT?
सर एक सेकंड। सर बस बोला है कि लाइक
Slight growth,
स्लाइट ग्रोथ
slight growth.
बोला है।
अच्छा, okay. So ठीक है, around
हाँ
4,000 crores. ठीक है, fine. And do you just Google it, estimates for, usually you get estimates for Maruti Q4 FY25. Usually big companies you get anticipated revenue and there's a 6.5% year-on-year growth. See, around say they are given 40,000 crores and year-on-year dip in profit which is projected to be 3,000. So this, okay, this we have this number. So यहाँ पे दिया है. Usually they give, ये आ जाता है बड़े companies का. Result, okay, margins. Let's see what the business is trying to say. If you look at CNBC TV ना, ये सुबह सुबह न्यूज़ आ जाता है. Yes, Maruti will preview margin likely to fall 40 basis point. Decent performance drag on profitability. So margins, they usually talk about EBITDA margins. Okay, whenever we talk about margins, specifically it is EBITDA. It is not the PAT margin. Uh, standalone, it is standalone. Okay, year on year, 3,800 crores. Z business is Z business. Okay, this is fine because they are analysis. But now we will talk about this analyst estimates. These are different views. So they are talking about 10%. Top line is projected to be growth. Okay, this is Motilal Oswal's valuation. Okay. So you can say, okay, 39 to 42 के आसपास, we'll see this revenue coming and profit. Nomura and yesterday expect to report 2 to 5% profit growth. Okay, so fine. Profit growth, see they are estimating 2 to 5%, so 395 into approximate. So 4,000 crores के approximate. Just see, just we have just write this number. I will write this numbers on the group. Probably, profit to be approximate. See, sales to be approximate 39 to 42,000 and profit to be approximate 4,000. Okay, 4.1 thousand. Just writing it over here. So guys, if you get this estimate for other results, you can find it. You don't get it on newspaper basically, but you can Google it. Usually get it. For big companies, you get it. For small companies, you don't. So this is what now. This is an estimation by analyst. Now, yes, specifically Z Business has given, or Economic Times have given. So usually you get an consensus estimate from Bloomberg. So those who have a Bloomberg Access, if you have a Bloomberg Access in your office, you can, or in your college, just find the estimate number if you have. This is CNBC told. Now CNBC is estimating to be around 3,800 and revenue to be up because this is the news that we look at. Probably this is what we will see, that what is for their estimate. Yeah. So they are saying 3,800 update. But fine. The results are out. Oh, Maruti results are out. Today the Marutis call at 6 p.m. Is there on the BSC website. No, results are not yet out. Yeah, there is but this is out. Conference call says just go and find. It's at 6 p.m. today. It is at 6 p.m. today. Okay, fine guys, fine. Uh, so yeah, so tomorrow what we'll do is we will talk about how to write this, conference call in detail and how to present it in a better way. So 2 days we will talk about, probably Tata Consumers and your HUL. And also I will tell you how the valuation and all those things work as of now, the fee basic. So tomorrow the classes are 3 to 5. Okay, there is no class for 3:30, 10:30 to 1. There will be class for 3 to 5 only. Others also were joining for 10:30 to 1. Please join in 3 to 5 if you are available. Recordings are available. There is no class at 10:30. Okay, I'll share the link. Thing is the same link of 3 to 5. I have already posted in the group. So tomorrow we'll start with newsletter writing. Okay, fine. Sorry, not newsletter. I'm so sorry. Conference call writing. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, regarding the geopolitical tension right now,
Mhm.
with India, Pakistan, should we be careful regarding any particular news or any particular industry?
Yeah.
Because there
So
is constant conflicts going on, like we are um canceling some treaty, even Pakistan is retaliating back.
Uh, so there was a news today for that. If you look at Economic Times, it was about the air traffic because Pakistan has stopped the
Yeah, airspace.
airspace,
Yeah.
and then the flights to US and Europe will have to go from UAE. So that will take,
Okay, okay,
it will increase the fuel cost and also the price tickets. This is one of the
okay,
things. And other things I think for we don't import anything from Pakistan as such. So it will
hmm
not affect on the political part, but this airfares is what came out. I think there are other few
okay,
things also which has come up in the Economic Times that what are things that we and Pakistan pay. So it is actually impacting the Pakistan. Probably the export uh, of India might get impacted. Let's say if you are exporting something to Pakistan, you might get
okay,
impacted. But I
okay,
don't know, it's
okay.
hardly anything of the total overall pie. But this
Okay.
airfares will get
So
impacted because US and
mainly
Europe
airspace.
airspace, yeah,
Okay, okay,
air traffic.
fine, fine.
It is there in the
Okay,
news today. It is there in the Economic Times.
okay, I'll check,
So
I'll
we'll
check.
see. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Thank you guys. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you, sir.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.